So here's a quick video showing you how to get multiple Mixamo animations into Maya without them overriding each other. You had auto-rigged a character already, but I want to quickly just show the settings. So when you grab your character, cue the download, just grab FBX, T-pose is fine. And then on that character find some animations. Say we like this jump. The only thing I want to show you here is when you cue the download for your animations, you want to grab FBX. I normally set it to 60 frames per second with no keyframe reduction and without skin. And I'll show you why. It makes the file sizes much smaller though. So it sounds like you've already got a few of those, so let's go ahead and jump into Maya. Now I've downloaded 3 animations and the character. And as you can see here, I grabbed with skin for this particular animation, and you can see the massive difference in file size. It's completely unnecessary, so do it without skin just to save yourself some disk space. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just take the character by itself and drag and drop it into Maya. This is the 2016 student version, in case you're using something different, but it should work the same. Now this is going to use your import settings, so depending on what you have set, it may come in grouped, it may come in with a namespace. None of that's really going to matter for what we're doing. So once you've got your character in there, we need to open the outliner, which is either Window Outliner, or you can just click this button over here. Mine came in grouped, yours may not, but you should have a character, which is going to be the mesh set, and a skeleton. The skeleton is the important part, and that's what we care about. And the method we're going to use is to create a character set, which lets us create clips of the animation that we can move around without having to override every time we bring in a new animation. So go to Windows, Animation Editor, Tracks Editor. It's going to pop up a window that looks like this. And then with the hips selected on your character, which is very important, we're going to go to Create Character Set Options. I'll reset this just so you can see that the options are wrong by default. So call this whatever you want. I'll just do MMX. The two things we need to change are Include Hierarchy, because we've only grabbed the top node and we want to grab all of the animated joints underneath of that. And then we want to set that to all keyable just to make sure we don't miss any animation. Okay? We'll create a character set. Now, for some reason the tracks editor is not showing it, but it is there because we saw it in the outliner. So if you just close that and go to Windows, Animation, Tracks Editor, pop it open, there's your character. Funny little bug. So the next thing is to just literally drag and drop in an animation. I will start with the jump. Pop it in there. Okay. And as you can see, we've got our 50 frame little jump animation. You can ignore the crazy hand thing that's happening. Again, I just quickly threw this through the Mixamo auto rigger so I'd have something to show you. But we have an animation and it's working. So we're going to do the same process as before, which is grabbing the hips, top root of the skeleton. And then in this tracks editor, we're going to go to Create, and this time we're going to go to Animation Clip Options. Okay. If I reset these, pretty much everything is fine here. I'm just going to call this Jump. And then for the time range, I'm going to set this to Start End. Now you can, if you adjust the time slider and have it lined up perfectly, use that method. This, I can see it's 50 frames, so I'm just going to type in 50 and create clip. And there we go. We have our animation clip. This is wonderful because we can grab it and slide it out of the way. And if you notice, the character is static until we get to its new offset time. Now the reason we have to do that is because the Mixamo FBX is more of a stripped down version. It's kind of got helper data instead of maybe the full featured FBX you might find in another program. And so it is going to just come in at frame 0 and override whatever's happening if you bring it in that way. So now that we've safely moved our jump out of the way, we can bring in running in place. Okay, again, I'm just going to drag and drop it into the scene. And here it is. So we've got our characters run. It's because 1 and the end frame on a run cycle are mirrored, it's 20 frames long. So again, I'm going to grab the hips, very important. Create animation clip. We'll call this run. We'll set this to 20. Okay, create clip. And now we can slide that out of the way. The one caveat to doing this is that you have to move these clips out of the way. And I will show you an example with that other clip that I have. So right now, since we moved these out of the way, we can line them up together, which it sounds like what you wanted to do. And then of course you can blend them together and other things. I'm not going to do a whole tracks editor tutorial, but it's pretty simple to figure out. But let's take that last one, guitar playing. So this is a 150 frame animation. So if my tracks editor, I pull these clips back and set them, let's say here. So they're within that 150 frame range. Drag and drop this new animation in. We have completely lost our animation. Because again, it's overriding from when you bring it in. So I can move this, all the way out. It's doing its cool little air guitar thing, but we've lost the other animations. And even if we pull them over, those clips, again, they are gone. So you want to be very, very careful to not override them. Pay attention to how long the clips are that you're bringing in, that you've downloaded. Make sure you give yourself enough room. If you want to drag this out to frame 2000, that's fine. Anyway, that's a quick rundown of it. You might actually be able to hide it in different layers in the tracks editor. I'm not 100% certain on that. I'd say it's just safer to drag it out of the way to be sure. Alright, hope that helps.